Happy Monday and second to last Senate meeting officially. That is crazy. I call this meeting to order at 9:02 a.m. and we'll start off with the land acknowledgement. Associated Students recognizes and acknowledges the first people of this ancestral and unceded territory of the Fernandino, Tativian Band and Mission Indians that is now occupied by our campus of California State University, Northridge. Honors their elders, past and present, and the descendants who were citizens of the Fernandino, Tativian Band and Mission Indians. Associated Students recognizes that the tribe is still here, and we are committed to lifting up their stories, culture, and community. We'll now go ahead and do the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand if you are able. Alrighty, I'll turn it over to our Attorney General for the roll call.
Vice President Anderson,
Here.
Senator Bob Negri, Senator Chavez, Senator Doe, Senator Dunn, Senator Kaddish, Senator Iman Khan, Senator Awais Khan, Senator Mezabin, Senator Radionov, Senator Sarkeesian, Senator Saravia, Senator Scher, Senator Tybee, Senator Toledo Carranza, Senator Tran, Senator Olgan. We have a quorum.
Thank you, Golden. We'll now go ahead and move on to the approval of the agenda for today's meeting, April 29th. Is there a motion? Senator Saravia.
I move to approve the meeting for April 29, 2024.
Great, thank you. Sorry about that. Is there a second? Senator Khan, thank you. Is there any discussion? Are there any opposed? All right, the motion passes unanimously. We'll go ahead and move on to the approval of the minutes. Is there a motion? Senator Doe? Granted. Is there a motion for the approval? Yes, Senator Saravia. Oh, not again.
I move to approve the minutes for last week's meeting, April 22, 2024.
Great, thank you. Is there a second? Vice President Anderson, thank you. Is there any discussion? Great. Excuse me. Are there any opposed? All right, the motion passes unanimously. All righty, we're going to go ahead and move on to special presentations. Gabe. Okay. Number one, the NCOD. Unfortunately, Gabriel emailed me earlier this morning and said that he was not feeling well, so he won't be able to come to do a special presentation, but we will postpone it to next week, our last Senate meeting. And we have the 2024-2025 election results, and Denise is here to save the day. Thank you, Denise.
Good morning. You'll have to excuse me because I just found out I was doing this about 30 seconds ago. So I'm still trying to open my documents. As you all know, my name is Denise Ibarra. I am the Student Leadership Manager. I also advise, thank you. I also advise the Elections Committee throughout their elections process alongside Nakia McWilliams from the MIC. I am here to present your spring election results. I will start off with the total number of students who voted, which was 1,900. That is 5.3%. Then we also have our president and vice president tickets. So Katie Karoum and Iman Khan. Next, we have our upper division senator with 626 votes, Brandon Aronson. We have our lower division senators, Trin, I don't want to butcher Trin's last name, I'm sorry. So Trin had 222 votes, and then we have Haruyuki Miyoshi, with 132 votes, so those are our lower division senators. We'll move on to our AMC senators. We have Ella Perez with a vote of 86, and Isaac Gavino also with a vote of 85. So those are your AMC senators. For the College of Business and Economics, we have Peter Radionov and Benjamin Tran, who are both returning senators. For the College of Education, which I'm very excited about because we haven't had a senator for the College of Education in a really long time, we have Bella Pulliam. Engineering and Computer Science, we have Jonathan Schur, who is a returning senator, and we have Naveed Shirzadi. I believe Naveed is currently a member at large for External Affairs. For the College of Health and Human Development, we have Ryan Dang. College of Humanities, we have Kiri Sarabia, who is a returning senator as well, and Hannah Davis. Science and Math, that position is currently, those two positions are currently open, so they will be posted later on this week if anyone is interested in those positions. We also have for Social and Behavioral Sciences, we have Jocelyn Harris. Jocelyn is currently an Associate Justice, so she is returning to AS as well. And then graduate senators, we don't have any candidates, but those two positions will be posted as well. So those are that is your administration for 2024-25. In addition, we have our club competition, which I believe has already been announced. I will give you the top 5. We had Delta Sigma Pi with 43 votes, Alpha Epsilon Pi with 41, 3 Winds Fitness Club with 39, CSUN Matador Archery with 30, and then we had the CSUN FASA with 29. I can keep going if you want me to mention women's rugby. Okay. We have Criminology and Justice Studies Club with 28 and CSUN Women's Rugby Club with 28 as well. So our top clubs, in addition to getting $1 for each vote, will be receiving an additional monetary prize as well. Does anyone have any questions about the results? No questions? Okay. So as you know, our code has changed in the last couple of years. The Senate no longer approves the results. Results are considered official when they are presented to you. So they are now considered official. Thank you.
Yay, well, congratulations to our senators and our new administration. It's so exciting. Yeah, very soon you'll be taking office. It comes so fast. So looking forward to that. Let me get back to the agenda. Alrighty. We will now go ahead and move on to open forum. Open forum is intended as an opportunity for any member of the public to address the Associated Student Senate regarding any issues affecting CSUN students. Speakers are allowed 3 minutes each to speak. Please sign in using the clipboard for minute recording purposes. Oh, who's coming first?
I don't always want to go first. I just wanted to make sure that no one else was going to go.
All good.
Good morning, everybody. My name is James Forster. I serve as the AS Programs Manager, just here to provide some event updates. Boom. So first off, just want to give a quick shout out to my team for doing Earth Fair this past week. Earth Fair was very successful. It was probably the most successful Earth Fair that we've at least seen in the most recent years. We know we had anywhere from 2,500 to 3,000 people come through the event over the course of the day, based on our giveaways and kind of the amounts of people that interacted with a lot of our booths. So shout out to the sustainability team for a very successful Earth Fair. Looking ahead, so this week we actually, Productions only has one event. So we have our farmers market on Tuesday from 10 to 3. Tomorrow's theme is going to be Grad Bash, which is a collaboration with leadership here. So we're really looking forward to that event. It's going to be fun. I will save the details for someone's report, I'm assuming. I won't spoil all the details for it. But that's it for this week. Looking ahead to next week, so week 15 is a busy week for us. It's also our last week of programming that we'll be doing. So we have 4 events in 4 days. So Monday from 4 to 7, we have the Sustainable Fashion Expo, which will be taking place in the Northridge Center. On Tuesday, we'll have our final farmers market of the semester. It's also going to be our AAPI celebration themed market. On Wednesday, we are going to have our Fallen Matador Memorial from 10 to 4. For those of you who don't know, that is a very passive event. It's not necessarily like you have to be there at a certain time. You can come at any point during the day to honor whoever you would like. And then finally, on Thursday, we have our last event. Finals are a drag, which will be taking place from 5 to 7 in the Northridge Center. And that's it from me. Thank you all.
I did want to make one little quick announcement about James, and today is his 2-year anniversary working with AS. So thank you so much, James. Always, always, always. You are the best, the most iconic. Yes. Hello, John. Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm John Dibler. I'm the HR manager for Associated Students. I just wanted to give a brief plug or reminder. This week we have 2 of our candidates coming in for the executive director position, one tomorrow and one on Thursday. There is an open forum for the student leadership and students that is from 3 to 4 with each of the candidates. And I encourage everybody to attend to be able to meet them and learn about the candidates and their experience, ask any questions that you have. So, excuse me, that'll, after Thursday, our interviews will be concluded and hopefully the committee will be able to move forward with the rest of the process. And that's it.
Thank you for that update and announcement. Is anyone else here for open forum?
Did you guys like my spin? Thank you. Oh, I have to sign in. Well, I thought I would do myself an injustice since I woke up so early, and I feel like if I didn't come up here and say anything, I'd be like, wow, that was a waste. Just kidding. Because I live really far. But thank you all. I mean, I guess this is just me saying hi and hellos, as now the results are official. I didn't even know that was a code change. That's pretty cool. But yeah, thank you. There's a lot of people in this room that helped Iman and I throughout this journey, as well as some of the senators that we ran with. And we really appreciate your support. And we're super, super looking forward to working with you all. And Iman and I are ecstatic to transition with you guys and some of you guys. But yeah, very excited. We are ecstatic, if you can't tell. We're jumping out of our seats. So yes. Okay.
Yes, another big congratulations to our new administration. It's definitely an exciting time and can't wait to, I guess, like pass over the gavel, I think, on May 1st. this Wednesday. Is anyone else here for open forum? Alrighty, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move on to reports, starting with mine. Well, good morning, everyone. Happy second to last Senate meeting, like I said earlier, which is crazy. I just wanted to give a huge shout out to, I know Senator Toledo Carranza is not here, but also our Chief of Staff Ryan for their first gen mixer event last week. It was so amazing, so great. We had awesome giveaways and a great panel of individuals to kind of share their stories and answer any questions of our students. So really, really awesome event. And it was awesome that we were still able to provide food to our students as well. So thank you for all your hard work, and also looking forward to Grad Bash too, which is also Senator Ryan, wow, Chief of Staff Ryan's event. So looking forward to that. I also attended a North Campus development meeting last week. Really exciting updates on that. It's kind of going to be a soccer field, which is really, really exciting. And it's more community based, which is really awesome for our campus. And we're going to have, I guess, I don't know what in the Valley, but like little league team kind of people, but that's maybe baseball, but soccer teams play there and everything. So that's really, really exciting. Also, IRA board is working hard through budget allocation. So that is coming along. Want to give a huge shout out to, again, Senator Tybee isn't here, but Vice President Anderson and Chair of Finance Tran for going through those. It's definitely a tedious process, but totally worth it for our students and for our campus, obviously. I also attended our last and final Cozen O'Connor I-Team meeting. The reason why it's the last one, kind of like overall, is because the reason why the meeting was, or the group was essentially formed, was to form an implementation plan kind of for the campus. And that has been since established, and now just kind of waiting on direction from the chancellor's office. So we established an implementation plan. It's all written out in this super detailed kind of Google sheet, and that's about it. So now it's just, again, implementing it, and there's a new individual in the office that's really working hard with us to kind of build up our Title IX office or OEC office. So that's really, really awesome. And then also kind of going off of that, I serve on the AVP of the Office of Equity and Compliance Search and Screen Committee. So that's going well, and probably won't have interviews until later, like in the summer kind of time, but that's a really exciting process, obviously, to hire someone new for that role, and kind of go along with the implementation plan that we have established. I also want to give a huge shout out to James and the productions team for Earth Fair. As you mentioned, like everyone's taking all my announcements during the open forum time, but it was so amazing. It was so crowded, so that was also a big thing. I had a feeling there were so many students there, and to hear that number is awesome. So thank you all for your hard work. Definitely an amazing event that happened last week. As John mentioned, we do have open forums again to meet some of the AS Executive Director candidates. I did send the email twice. I'm going to go ahead and send it out right after I'm done with my report, so you have it's right up at the top of your inbox. But again, there's one tomorrow from 3 to 4, and then there's one on Thursday from 3 to 4 as well. They're different locations, but again, I'll send you that right now or right when my report's done, so you have that. And please attend. Again, you don't have to be there for the whole hour, but even if you can just stop by, ask them a question, introduce yourself, kind of get to know the candidates. That is super crucial as a student leader. Obviously, as Denise mentioned, there's quite a few returners in this room, so you're definitely going to want to know who you will be working with next year. So please make sure you attend one of those. Also, I had the opportunity to attend the Valley of the Stars Gala last week on Thursday. That was a really interesting event. Also, Senator Kaddish was there as well. There was awesome awards given out, including Weird Al was there. He got an award, so that was really cool. And just a really good time to kind of celebrate the Valley and the community. Lots of great people that have come from the Valley, which is really awesome. I also, Dr. Watkins, Josie and I met with Dr. Watkins on Friday. As always, it is a fruitful discussion. That was actually one of our last meetings with him. So bittersweet, but always so grateful for his support and leadership. So thank you, Dr. Watkins. And just kind of updating him on a couple of things that are happening in AS, and just things that are on our kind of watch, as well as commencement that's coming up and super exciting. So yeah. And then I also attended the CFAC meeting. Dr. Watkins is also there on Friday. And that's really, really cool. Wasn't able to attend the last CFAC meeting, but this one is really awesome. Just seeing all the different proposals that campuses or that our campus has submitted, different departments, and kind of where we recommend funding to go to. We haven't finalized them quite yet, but we again are just kind of in that review process. Not much on, or not much really else to talk about, but I did want to just mention one quick last thing is yesterday, California State Student Association, or CSSA, did have their executive board voting for the new year. So they now have a new full team of individuals. They have one representative, or the president is from San Francisco, the chair is from Fresno. The Ledge Affairs VP is from Stanislaus, and then the chair of finance or not chair of finance, I guess VP of finance, they call it, and VP of system-wide are both from San Jose. So awesome representation on the board there. And I'm sure if any of you will attend CSSA next year, it's going to be really, really awesome people, super, super, super passionate individuals. And I really am so excited to see what will happen next year in CSSA. Josie and I will be meeting with Dr. Watkins and the president as well today. So if anyone has any concerns or things that you want us to mention, let us know. But other than that, farmers market tomorrow. And yeah, don't forget the Valera Nest groundbreaking is on Friday. That's super, super exciting. You all should have gotten the RSVP link, but I will go ahead and resend that out again, just so it's at the top of your inbox if you want. It's just a QR code to scan, but hopefully you all can make it. It's going to be such an exciting event, and I'm so looking forward to it. Alrighty. Oh, and don't forget, end of the year celebration, May 1st. There's just so many things. That is this Wednesday, May 1st. I think I got an email from Kevin this morning. If you haven't RSVP'd, make sure you do that ASAP. It's always such a fun time to reflect on the year, have a good time, celebrate with colleagues and friends. So please, 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 if you can attend, even if class or something, just stop by. We'd love to see you. Yeah, looking forward to passing the gavel and celebrating this year and getting excited for next year. So, alrighty. Are there any questions on my report? I know that was very long-winded. Sorry, everyone. Oh, yes, Senator Kadish. Granted. Granted, Senator Scher. Thank you. Alrighty. We'll go ahead and move over to our Vice President Anderson for her report.
Hello, everyone. I hope you're doing well and had a good weekend. President Hodgelu already covered a lot of the events and meetings we've been to since we go to a lot of the same things. So I'll echo everything she said. I did want to mention that your transition packets are due this Friday. So please make sure those are turned in on time to our Attorney General. If you have any questions about them, you can let me know or you can let Golden know and we can help you out. Like Paige said, we have the end of the year celebration this Wednesday. Please, please, please come. We've taken a lot of time to plan that and make it fun, so we would really appreciate your attendance. And then next Monday, please be here and be on time because we have our final Senate meeting and we have our student leadership luncheon. Tomorrow, we will be tabling at the CSUN Athletics baseball game. The game starts at 3 p.m., so we'll get there around 2:30 to set up. I don't think I have anyone signed up at the moment, so if you would like to join me at this game, so I'm not tabling by myself, let me know. I would really appreciate that. Other than that, I'm just finishing up all my search committees that I sit on. We wrapped up the vice provost interviews, which were incredibly informative. We had 4 candidates who came to campus and spent all day here. They met with the provost, they met with the provost leadership team, they had a campus tour, they had their interview, so really great time. And we will be having our debrief tomorrow where we figure out who we will be recommending to the provost office. And then also, like we mentioned, we're wrapping up the executive director search. So please, please, please come to those open forums. It's really important that we have some representation there, and it really affects who you work with in AS next year. Other than that, just please sign up for the baseball game. I would really appreciate it, and you can let me know if you have any questions. Thank you.
Also a reminder, if you do table at the baseball game, that can count as 1 hour of office hours. So Or more than one, exactly. Yes, definitely. So just keep that in mind. Are there any questions on Vice President Anderson's report? Alrighty, seeing none, we'll go ahead and turn it over to our Chief of Staff, Ryan, for her report.
Hello, everyone. It sounds like we all have some type of trouble with our voices this week, including myself. Some leftover issues from Colombia, but this week has been awesome so far. I mean, I know it just started, but it's already been awesome. It's honestly just great to kind of look back at what happened last week, which was our official first generation mixer. It was super awesome. All the panelists were amazing and just telling their stories, which was an awesome opportunity to hear them out. And just being aware of our surroundings and people's backgrounds is very important. And then one of our amazing panelists, Luis Luque, an LA-based photographer. He actually works really closely here with the Soraya and our campus. He's amazing. He actually donated professional headshots to one of our students as an additional giveaway with us. So it was super awesome to have him do that. And thank you to everyone, including Kiri, for so much help there, and Paige and all those who were able to table, as well as the DEI committee. They were there as well helping us out. So that was super awesome to have everyone there and see everyone. We had food. Thank you to the EOP. They were awesome. And the Alumni Association were awesome collaborators with this event as well. So turning to this week, this Wednesday is our official last cabinet meeting. I know I said that last week, but we had to unfortunately cancel because I got really heavily sick. So here we are again this week. This week is going to be our official last meeting with cabinet. All the transition packets have been officially turned in as well. So now we're just waiting on our last meeting. Just like James mentioned, tomorrow is the AS Grad Bash. So this event was made to just celebrate graduating students, whether they're seniors from the graduate program, anyone who can technically be graduating this semester. There's going to be photo booth opportunities for raffle enterings, DIY graduation caps, and so much more, just to have a good time and celebrate before our official final start. And then we graduate, so that's a good thing. Of course, the end of the year celebration is happening May 1st, just like my previous president and vice president have mentioned. So that's going to be taking place. Please come. It's an awesome opportunity to just hang out and have a good time, and just have like this nostalgic feeling of like leaving something behind for the next administration to come and have an awesome time for next year as well. So, and that is all for my report. Thank you.
Thank you. Are there any questions on our Chief of Staff's report? Great. All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move over to our Chair of Finance, Tran.
Hi, good morning. Happy Monday, everyone. I'll start by sharing our account balances. So within STAR, we have $127,043. Unassigned contingency has $657,149. Clubs and orgs assigned has $13,450. Fill fund still has $15,000, so this has been an untapped fund. And clubs and orgs travel has $264. Yeah, so with the end of the year coming up, I'm feeling really sentimental. With this being my first year in my term as chair of finance, and I'm so grateful for like literally everyone in the CSUN community and how affirming the community is and how helpful they are, and how every time you have an idea, someone's willing to listen, and it just means a lot. So with that and finance wrapping up, I want to just remind everyone that if you were approved for funding this past year and you need to still seek reimbursement from accounting, or if you know a student organization that needs to do so, please encourage them to submit an expenditure request form as soon as possible before June 31st, as that's the end of our fiscal year. And with that too, if you have a student club and org or know of one, a reminder that funds and your annual budget funds don't roll over. So be sure to exhaust those funds and try to get as much financial support out of it as you can. Today's going to be our last finance committee meeting for this academic year. And so we're going to be having a nice meeting, not too much. Actually, we actually have a few new business items, mostly from AS. So we'll be seeing a few AS folks during our meeting later. And with that, all supplemental requests, $600 and over, will be going to Senate's Committee of the Whole for the next meeting. As a side note, my project with the Soraya is trucking along, and that's going pretty well. We have about like 30 signups from students at the time, and we've also exhausted all 10 spots for the AS leaders. So looking forward to that. It's going to be a jazz event with Broadway star. I know Jennifer's really excited. So I'm also looking forward to it too. It's going to be an open discussion type of thing. So it's going to be like open discussion mixer, so students can meet with arts alumni in the art alumni chapter. And just a network. So trying to go beyond like a networking event from just like, hey, how are you? What job do you do, to like kind of talking a bit more to like alumni, and trying to understand them a bit more. Phone call. And then yeah, a side note, or not side note, but like another side project that I've been working on. I have a club that I've been trying to kick off this entire year, and today we're having our first meeting. It's the Navigating the Age of Information Club. It's also an open discussion-based club. We're going to be meeting today in the USU. So what we do is we talk about tech and tech policy, either policy or adoption, or just our attitudes towards it. It's going to be open discussion, and we're trying to, it's like a social experiment type of club. We're trying to see if we can do a club without like any form of like hierarchy. So everything is vote based, and there's going to be a communication facilitator. But if you're interested, and if you have an open mind, please come by. There'll be food also. We're meeting today in the USU Santa Susana room. There will be food from 5 to 7 p.m. Oh, and also that process of starting a club, it's been really interesting being on the students' end, because in the finance end, I get these requests and I can see like, oh, they're seeking this much for this, right? But also being a student and actually like having a go through the MIC process and having a charter with them and seeing how long that takes, and then also having a go to the USU room reservation folk and having to see a different process. It's been interesting trying to see how those processes kind of overlap, and also the lack of overlapping. So maybe if I could talk and try to meet with the groups and see if we can streamline some things, that might be really helpful. I think for me, starting a club, it took maybe like 2 months just to go back and forth between folk. And so during that time, like, you know, it was a little bit discouraging, because like you're so excited to start something, and then there's some bureaucratic pauses, which are really understandable, but also trying to see if we can help student clubs and orgs. So yeah, so that's been really interesting. And now I have a bit more of a student's perspective on it. So trying to take that with me into finance in these last few weeks. Okay. And that concludes my report for today. Thank you everyone for listening. And if you have time, please stop by today at 5 to 7 p.m. And if you want to talk after, I'm more than willing to. Thank you.
Thank you to our Chair of Finance, Tran. So happy that your club is now kind of started and you're having your first meeting today. That's super, super exciting. Are there any questions on her report? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and turn over to our Attorney General for his report.
Good morning. So as you know, I've been talking a lot about getting people to come out to the neighborhood cleanup that we had on Sunday. And I've got to give so much thanks to our business senators, Senator Doe for showing up, and Senator Dunn and Doe for recruiting like 1 million people to come help. I think without their assistance, it would not have been nearly as successful as it was, but we had plenty of people who showed up, and we were able to, along Etowanda, right where it's across from the parking lots and PPM, there was a lot of debris and branches, and it's mostly untouched by street sweeping due to partly budget cuts and just some issues they've been having there. So we all collectively were able to scoop up as much debris and trash and everything. And it took about 3 hours. We were hoping that we are going to be able to do Etowanda and Lindley, but it was quite an undertaking as to just how much work it is shoveling up leaves and debris. But it was such a great thing, and it felt good to do. And so again, thank you to you both. And then also, we do have those transition packets due on Friday, so make sure you get those in. And this isn't like a homework assignment. It's not like a graded thing where you've got to, think about it in that way. Think about it in more of what are you writing that's going to help your incoming senator? What's going to make their lives easier? So make sure that it's coming from a personal place and not just a place of getting an assignment done. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you to our Attorney General, and awesome that you all went out there. Thank you so much to our business senators and our Attorney General for cleaning up Northridge. That's really, really cool. Are there any questions on his report? All right, seeing none, we'll go ahead and move over to standing committee reports, starting with external affairs.
Good morning, everyone. For last week's external affairs meeting, it was our last and it was very, very sappy. Very proud of the work that the committee has done and of our committee members. And we were able to approve 3 reports that will hopefully be seen in, well, they will be seen in next week's Senate meeting. And those were for support for divestment from war on campus, transparent course material costs, and the report on dining hall foods. It's currently titled AS Report for GMOs, but yeah, that's the referral. For today, we do have 2 resolutions that we are hoping to approve. The first one, just to touch on them quickly before we get into discussion, is support California legislation for the 2024 cycle. A huge shout out to our Chair of Legislative Affairs, Colora. This is just a resolution that goes over several California Assembly bills that relate to students. And then it shows our support for them. And then our second resolution is about STARS Credit EN15 trademark licensing. And then believe I've talked about that in previous meetings before, but it is essentially supporting the idea to push to meet certain requirements for the STARS program that CSUN subscribes to, but this would be for sustainability in relation to labor for our apparel on campus.
Awesome. Thank you for that kind of context for those 2 Senate bills. So for the first one, SB 232403, support California legislation for the 2024 cycle. All those in favor? Oh, sorry, discussion. Sorry, what's that? Is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Saravia.
Great work.
Yes, big shout out to our Chair of Legislative Affairs. All of the Senate bills that that we kind of discussed at CHEST are all pretty much in there. And they kind of the report or the resolution gives a nice kind of brief background on each bill. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of approving SB 2023-2403, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstained? Right, the motion passes. We'll now go ahead and move on to our second motion out of committee, which is the Star Credit EN15 trademark licensing. Is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Saravia.
Just for clarification, we're asking the university to work alongside workers' rights in the Fair Labor Association. Is that?
Senator Kadish, you want to answer that question?
Yeah. So essentially, CSUN subscribes to the STARS program, which is a sustainability tracking, assessment, and rating system. It was created by the Association for Advancement of Sustainability in Higher Education. So that's something that CSUN is already a part of. And essentially, they give like these somewhat like awards called credits to institutions. So CSUN is currently lacking an EN15 trademark licensing. So we would be asking the university to basically follow the requirements, which would be to join to obtain a membership in either the Workers' Rights Consortium or the Fair Labor Association or an equivalent organization that has an independent monitoring system.
Thank you, Senator Kadish. Is there any further discussion? Alrighty. Yes, Senator Toledo Carranza.
Permission to be recognized?
Granted. Thank you. Alrighty. Seeing no further discussion, all those in favor of approving SB 2023-2404, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstained? Great, the motion passes. Awesome. Anything else from external affairs?
That is all.
Okay, thank you. We'll go ahead and move on to internal affairs. I know Senator Tybee is not here today. He did send us a report, and then I'll go ahead and read this and then turn it over to Senator Khan if you want to add anything else. He said, "Good morning, everyone. I apologize for not being here today, but I am cheering you on virtually. We have one motion out of committee, and that is to approve the Chair of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Code to require the First Generation College Celebration Day event to be held yearly. New language has been included in the document to support this. I would like to thank Senator Toledo Carranza and our committee for authoring this piece. If anybody needs to reach me, I will be available on Zoom. Have a great meeting, everyone." And then Senator Khan, is there anything else you wanted to add?
Nick pretty much covered it all. If you want to read through it, where he just added a line, it's line 3 if you want to find it, about responsibilities of the chair and the committee. There's 2 on there, right? Yeah, okay, yeah. So the chair and the committee, they're separate documents. And yeah, it's just for the first generation event. Make sure it's held.
Awesome. Thank you so much for that context. Is there any discussion? Oh, there you go. Now you can see it nice and big on the screen. It's also attached in your Senate agenda, but is there any discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of approving the updated Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Chair Code, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, the motion passes. We do have another motion out of committee from Internal Affairs that was obviously touched on, but this is now for the committee. So to approve the updated Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee Code. Is there any discussion? All right, seeing no discussion, all those in favor of approving the updated Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee Code, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, the motion passes. All right, that was all from Internal Affairs. So thank you, Senator Tybee and Senator Khan. We'll go ahead and move over to University Affairs with Senator Dunn.
All right, so our last meeting is actually this Thursday. So I expect from my senators in my committee to have several reports and other such ready. I might even check in with you during the week. Dun, dun, dun. So yeah, next week, I assume there will be a lot of stuff under University Affairs, looking at my senators.
Awesome. Thank you, Senator Dunn. I would not want to be in your committee. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome. Thank you so much. And looking forward to some maybe action items on next week's agenda. Alrighty, are there any questions on Senator Dunn's report? Yes, Senator Tran. Granted. Alrighty, we will now go ahead and move over to our AS Executive Director report from Patrick Bailey. He had sent it in and I will go ahead and read it off. He says, "Good morning, Senate. I hope you all had a wonderful weekend and that you were getting ready to close out the semester." He only has a few updates today. So one being the interviews for both the sports club coordinator and facilities coordinator were completed last week, and that we will be extending an offer for those positions very soon. The amazing, fun, and exciting end of the year celebration is happening this Wednesday at 5 p.m. in the Northridge Center. If you haven't sent in your RSVP, it's not too late, but please do so today so we can make our final arrangements. I hear there are some great raffle prizes, a photo booth, some games of skill and chance, awards, and we will end the event with the tradition of the rose in honor of all the accomplishments, you've had over the past year. And he also mentioned too as well that today, April 29th, is James Forrester's 2-year work anniversary at Associate Student. So another big shout out to James. And then, yeah, he says, have a great week. And he looks forward to seeing you all on Wednesday at the end of the year celebration. Thank you so much, Patrick. We'll now go ahead and turn it over to our university advisor, Asia Butler.
Good morning. Last Wednesday, we had our Clubs and Orgs Award ceremony, went very well. And then our next event is next Monday, May 6th, is our Greek graduation from, I believe, is it 6 o'clock? Yeah, 6 o'clock in this room. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Are there any questions on our university advisors report? All right, seeing none, we'll go and turn it over to our faculty advisor, Dr. Veda Ward.
Good morning, everyone. I also, of course, hope you had a wonderful weekend. We've had some great weather. We're really fortunate, and many of you all are seeing those great colors blooming forth. And I hope they represent your energy at this point in the semester. Obviously, there's lots of stuff that's going on in our wonderful world, and those things permeate our realities as university students and faculty, as well as administrators. As I look at other university campuses, I also look at that interaction among faculty, staff, and students. And again, as your faculty advisor, I want you to be thinking about that role as well. Some of the things that we as faculty members bring to you come from our own backgrounds when we were students, when we were activists or not, and whether or not our voices actually were heard in ways that were meaningful and reflective of all those faculty who had come before us, starting from when we were little teeny weeny ones, and those voices that carried with us about who we are, what we stand for, and what we will be. That's all part of that academic experience. I'd also like to have you think about those students who had volunteered or were selected to be speakers at graduations and what those voices meant, if not heard, if silenced, if those changes were made. We've been fortunate as an institution that I know many of you all, or some, may not have experienced a graduation in high school. And I, as a faculty member, of course, think about other students at other university campuses who are now experiencing that they may not have a college graduation. I hope that that does not occur for us. No indication that that will be, but I'm so proud of you and all that you've done. And I think all faculty want you to know that that's why we're here, to support you and your visions. Many things go on outside the classroom, but I want you to just take away these last few words as we end the semester. The first one is reflection, of really going back over, not only in the classroom, but outside, what you've come through during your time with us. Last week, we talked about that word redundancy, and amazingly, in my world, that's part of bureaucratic institutions. There's automatic redundancy and, of course, repetition. And so again, the idea is thinking about why redundancy may be there. Why did that happen? And is it really something to be avoided? Again, thinking about that. And then another R word, repetition. And you hear that over and over again as you've gone through your classes, as well as perhaps in your life. You're wondering, oh, why are we doing that again? So ask yourself those important questions. Was there a reason that needed to be readdressed again? And then my last R word for today is respect. And with all the wonderful energy that you all bring, this is a great place to be on Mondays. And I hope that that respect carries over into these last couple of weeks of class and of all the interactions you have with faculty as well as with your peers. So again, best of luck to you and congratulations on a great year in AS.
Thank you so much, Dr. Ward, and you never cease to not have such amazing advice. So thank you so, so much. And yes, I am definitely enjoying the sunshine these days. Finally feels like spring a little bit, so definitely soaking it all in. Alrighty, thank you again. We don't have any unfinished business, but we do have one new business item, that is to allocate $700 from unassigned contingency to the Music and Entertainment Student Association for a Battle of the Bands event. Obviously in parentheses, it says the Grand Salon reservation, audio equipment, and event tech, but I will turn it over to Chair of Finance in case she wants to address anything.
Yep. So I'll provide some context on this. So the Music and Entertainment Student Association, or MESA, They've hosted this Battle of the Bands event like 2 weeks ago. So this is actually funding they're seeking for a retroactive event. So this is on behalf of a recommendation from finance, just because in our code on finance, we don't fund retroactively. But we made the recommendation that we want to overstep this for this instance this time. And so we'd like the Senate's input on it. So this group, the context of it is that there was a lot of issues with their advisor who's like working asynchronously from Seattle, and their club had a very like sudden transition in leadership, and so they didn't have like the usual department support that they typically do have, and then going back and forth between the USU room rental, who quoted them like maybe $200 originally, and then someone from the USU told them on the day of that the room is confirmed, but then the price is at $700 and they didn't have enough money to submit a report. And so this group came to Finance Committee last week and they showed us documented emails and with time stubs attached. And so the committee found that like we didn't really think we would want to penalize this group because it wasn't their fault. And events like these where students are hosting like Battle of the Bands events and they're trying to like encourage the community to come and be involved in these things are things that we found that AS should support and things that AS should tie our names towards. And it was a pretty successful event. Not that that should impact our funding decision, but it was a pretty successful event and they had a lot of turnout and they sold out on their tickets.
Thank you so much to our Chair of Finance. Great. Is there a motion for line item A? Yes, Vice President Anderson.
I move to allocate $700 from unassigned contingency to the Music and Entertainment Student Association for their Battle of the Bands event.
Thank you. Is there a second? Senator Saravia, thank you. Is there any discussion? Yes, Senator Kaddish.
So this took place during the elections reveal event with associate students. So I actually happened to walk into this event not knowing what it was. I gotta say, it was actually really fun. My only gripe with it was I wish it was marketed more because I wish more people attended. It was pretty great. But I was kind of wondering, so if we weren't able to fund them before, how were they able to pay for the event?
Yeah, we asked this group that. They said in the past, I think like the department helped out or something like that, or the advisor would pay for the event. But the student that's the current president doesn't really have a clear understanding of what that process looks like. So for us, it's like a lot of assumptions that we've made on the group too. We also asked, like in the event that they're unable to receive funding from AS for this event, how would they cover their expenses? They said that the club leadership would probably pay out of pocket or they would ask the advisor to pay. And their breakdown for this event, because it's a past event, they do have the receipts for it. They're only seeking things like USU room rental, as well as like the student audio technician, and nothing else regarding really like paying students or trying to pay for videographers. It's really just like the bare bones to just operate the event.
Thank you. Is there any further discussion? All right, seeing none, all those in favor of allocating $700 from unassigned contingency to the Music and Entertainment Student Association for a Battle of the Bands event, please raise your hand. Any opposed? Any abstained? All right, the motion passes. Thank you. We don't have any information items or discussion items or legislative referrals. Are there any announcements from the board? Okay, Chief of Staff Ryan.
Sorry, Ron, you can go. Just once again, that the AS Grad Bash is happening tomorrow. You also are able to table if that's possible. Please let me know. Again, just any tabling opportunities that do count as office hours. So let me know as soon as possible, or just show up tomorrow and ask if you could like take a spot there. Other than that, thank you.
Thank you. Very, very exciting. Senator Khan, your turn now.
I'd like to acknowledge the power the student voice currently has in our political climate. On the news a lot, we're seeing students across the nation having such an impact with international affairs that are so much bigger than the individual. As student leaders, we have an especially amplified voice, and I think it's really important to acknowledge that privilege and do something with it. We're elected officials, and speaking on behalf of the people who elected you is of utmost importance. We should be very proud of how resilient students are across the country, and we are the future of change. There's so many movements that started with students and made a worldly impact, and I just want to acknowledge that.
Thank you. Are there any further announcements? Yes, Senator Toledo Carranza.
I have a question. So AS Grad Bash, where is the location and what time?
Yes, so it's taking place here in the Matador Square, per usual, like AS Farmers Market times from 10 to 3. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yes, Senator Chavez.
I just wanted to say that the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, I'm hosting a town hall tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. So if you guys would like to come, the dean will be there, and also some other clubs that fall under the College of Social and Behavioral Sciences, as well as Judicial Court. So you guys should come. There will be donuts and coffee.
And where is it, like the location?
I'm so
No.
I don't know. Okay. The location is the Whitsett Room in Sierra Hall. So that's the 4th floor of Sierra Hall.
Nice. Thank you. Senator Toledo Carranza.
I forgot I had an announcement,
Oh,
but
okay.
Salsa Libre is gonna be hosting their own social on May 5th. So this upcoming Sunday, which I'll be performing, so it's really fun. And we'll have other performances from our coaches, from alumni, and then we'll have food and social dancing the whole night. So yeah, so if you guys want to come, this event is open to public, so anybody can come and support. Thank you.
Go, Attorney General, go for it.
Just really quick, I wanted to add on to the transition packets that some of you are probably going to be writing transition packets to yourself. And if that's the case, still write it and consider it kind of a maybe a little time capsule or a little journal for yourself that you can look back on and say, what were my priorities then? And then next year you can be thinking about how things have changed and what you want to do that you were interested in before. So yeah.
Thank you, Golden. Any further announcements? I do have one quick one. We will have a UCS outside at the Plaza del Sol for a little anxiety toolbox event, obviously with finals coming up, just kind of learn different ways to cope with some of the stresses that are coming our way. And I'll also be giving out some mental health giveaways and everything like that. So that will be going on today outside. Alrighty, seeing no further announcements, I'll go ahead and turn over to back to our Attorney General for the final roll call.
Vice President Anderson, Senator Bovnagry, Senator Chavez, Senator Doe, Senator Dunn, Senator Kaddish, Senator Iman Khan, Senator Awais Khan, Senator Mezabin, Senator Radionov, Senator Sarkeesian, Senator Saravia, Senator Scher, Senator Tybee, Senator Toledo Carranza, Senator Tran, Senator Olgan. Thank you.
Thank you to our Attorney General. I will go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 10:01 a.m. And thank you all. Have a beautiful rest of the week.